You are now entering Armbar Audio.
Hello, and welcome to episode 15 of Armbar Audio. I'm your host, Tim Farley, and alongside me is my trusted companion,
John Jones. Hello, folks.
Alright, well, today, as usual, we are going to start the show with some news. The first bit of news, I don't want to get into Crown Jewel, but it does involve Crown Jewel. Yeah. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has been replaced at Crown Jewel with Samoa Joe. If you saw SmackDown, they had the Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles match there. And Samoa Joe came out and attacked both of them, so Samoa Joe took Daniel Bryan's place. Like John Cena, Daniel Bryan has decided not to participate in Crown Jewel. He only did the Greatest Royal Rumble because he was kind of ignorant to what was going on. He doesn't like the treatment of homosexuals in Saudi Arabia, and he does not like that Sami Zayn cannot go there as he is Syrian and he believes that's racist. Yeah. Now, I didn't think there was anything to it, but then news came that WWE's live event Starrcade has completely nixed Daniel Bryan versus AJ and instead replaced him with Samoa Joe. So I felt that this was an interesting topic. Is the WWE planning on punishing? Are they punishing Daniel Bryan for what he's doing? If they are they going to do the same to Cena, or is Cena above reproach? There's a couple scenarios in my head. One is it could be a punishment, or it could be an angle where the authority is upset with Daniel Bryan's moves and kind of rehashes that old storyline to get him back to prominence. Or Daniel doesn't care enough to be in the main title picture, and he's there to basically have matches with new guys that will be coming up from NXT, like who's already there, like Almas and stuff like that. And he wants the climax of the Miz feud. I kind of think the latter. What do you think about all this, John?
I don't know if I would call it a punishment. I think it's definitely interesting. Daniel Bryan, for a long time, has been one of the most favorable superstars in WWE. And to see them doing something like this to a Daniel Bryan and not to a John Cena is very interesting to me.
Well, we also
maybe it is a punishment.
We also have to consider that John Cena is not really there right now.
Well, no, he's not.
So you see it as a punishment?
Yeah, I didn't at first, or could Daniel Bryan be hurt again?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I don't know then.
Okay. So that's our thoughts on Daniel Bryan's future. Hopefully this is just a little bump in the road.
Yeah, hopefully
or
it all
angle
blows over.
or whatever, and WWE doesn't care.
Yeah.
Our next bit of news comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It has been rumored that New Japan is throwing money, very big money, like Jericho type money, at certain wrestlers on the WWE roster. There's a lot of controversy around contracts, as we all know that the Elite has been, teasing us, where will they go, what's going to happen. But it looks like New Japan, as usual, always has a backup plan, always has something going forward. Everyone thought that New Japan was going to fall whenever AJ, Gallows, and Anderson left,
right,
and Shinsuke, and immediately
Finn.
Kenny was put to the top. They had Jay White come back. They did a lot of things that kept everyone interested. Right. Now, there's no notes on who they are saying they're throwing money at now, and I kind of wonder who those superstars are. John, what are your thoughts?
Well, one that immediately comes to mind is I'm wondering if they're possibly trying to throw money at NXT talent, guys like Ricochet, or like people that have been on New Japan programming, trying to get them back, maybe. Yeah. Possibly Aleister Black. If I'm thinking about people that aren't super prominent on WWE television, maybe a Kurt Hawkins, Mike Kanellis possibly. Maybe some of the other cruiserweights, guys like Brian Kendrick, possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's possible. I'm thinking like, if it's Jericho type money, it better be some big name.
Yeah, if it's Jericho type money, maybe Seth.
Yeah.
Or
Orton,
possibly.
Seth was my first thought because there was a lot of like Twitter exchanges between him and Kenny Omega
and there's a lot of comparisons.
And they both want to wrestle each other. So I would think Seth.
Maybe the Revival with what they were talking about, the Young Bucks.
Yeah, they're up there. I would think Almas has history in New Japan.
Yeah. As La Sombra.
Right, and he could be great back in LIJ. There's been reports that Nakamura and Anderson and Gallows are being looked at by New Japan, but there hasn't been any news about that. But I'd love to see Chad Gable, Rusev.
Yeah. I'm wondering
Seth Rollins.
I'm wondering if possibly New Japan kind of maybe feels like they won't be able to get Shinsuke back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he seems really happy with what he's doing now.
Right, and he's talked a lot about enjoying what he's doing and always being able to, within WWE, always being able to get better.
Right.
I think if he went to New Japan, it would be a whole different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know what you think about who are New Japan eyeing up.
Comments down below, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to do it.
Armbar Audio. Our next piece of news comes from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, where
Meltzer. No.
Dave Meltzer said, on the Jericho cruise, Johnny Impact, the Impact champion, and Jay Lethal, the ROH champion, agreed to a title versus title match. We don't have the date and place confirmed. Impact and ROH talked about this months ago, the idea of a match with neither title at stake. Right now there is no match time or place, and even though there were ROH versus Impact matches on the cruise, ROH and Impact aren't working together on anything going forward right now. But so much about the business could change in January, and anything could happen after that. I think that if you're going to announce it on your cruise, and obviously fans are going to leak that information.
Right.
And Jericho has actually posted on Instagram a picture of both of them together and Kenny Omega showing that three world champions are on the cruise. I think that ROH, I think this is a great idea. And also that if ROH loses the Elite,
right,
that going into business with Impact would help them very much. I think that Jay Lethal versus Johnny Mundo or John Morrison, John Hennigan, whatever you want to address him as, would be a great match. And also, who's to say those two will be the title holders when the match does happen? What do you think, John?
As for a date and time, they were talking about how we don't have a venue or a time or whatever. I would take a wild guess and say the Madison Square Garden show next year could possibly be where this happens.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
If they could throw in some Ring of Honor talent or throw in some Impact talent on the New Japan and Ring of Honor card at MSG next year.
Right. They should spice it up because they've already sold it out and everything, right? Mm-hmm. So, but we know that All In
They kind of pulled an All In with that because they sold it out with no card.
Right. Right, because it's just historic. It's historic. Speaking of
Possibly
history.
An All-In 2 match? The first All-In 2 announcement?
Possibly. I mean, Cody said it on the
Double or nothing.
He's going to do All-In 2. So, where he does it, how he does it, we don't know. But his ROH contract is, I believe, up already.
I think
or at least through Final Battle.
The next Jericho thing, he's going to do it in fucking space.
Yeah, he's gonna get Elon Musk Talk as Jericho, and they're gonna figure out something. Speaking of history making,
the Jericho cruise on Mars.
This week AJ Styles has joined a very exclusive club. He notched his 359th day as WWE champion as of November 1st, officially placing his reign among the 10 longest in history. He has surpassed Diesel's. And the only people above him are Hulk Hogan at 9, Randy Savage at 8, John Cena at 7, CM Punk at 6, Pedro Morales at 5, Bruno Sammartino at 4, Hulk Hogan again at 3, and Bob Backlund at 2, and Bruno Sammartino again. So, congratulations to AJ Styles.
That's a hell of a list to be part of.
Yes, and I'm so happy for AJ Styles. Sometimes when I watch him in WWE, I'm still like so proud, even though I don't know him at all.
Yeah.
That like he's there and he's featured so prominently.
That's why, and I love his small bit in the 2K19 commercial, where his tagline for his little section is a guy that wasn't considered right proves everyone wrong.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it too. So we go from congratulations to another congratulations, finishing out this news segment.
Yeah.
The PWI Women's Wrestling 100 was out this week, and Ronda Rousey was featured as number 1. PWI writer Dan Murphy said, Ronda's success in such a short period of time is absolutely unprecedented. She has become one of the biggest stars in WWE, male or female, and is setting a new standard for excellence in the women's division. When it comes to our ranking criteria of championships won, quality of opposition, technical proficiency, win-loss record, and promotional push, she is unmatched. Ronda was an easy pick as number 1. She stated that it's absolutely incredible. She doesn't know how to react. She appreciates it, and she doesn't know how much she deserves it. But wow. Rounding out the top 10 here is number 2, Alexa Bliss. 3, Charlotte Flair. 4, Io Shirai. 5, Asuka. 6, Shayna Baszler. 7, Carmella. 8, Nia Jax. 9, Mayu Iwatani. And 10, Kairi Sane. At number 11 was our current female SmackDown champion, Becky Lynch. And this, of course, this list got everyone up in arms, as Becky Lynch is the hot topic today in today's female wrestling. Becky Lynch made a tweet that was absolutely hilarious and perfect for her character. She said, the only way I should be an 11 is if the question is scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Becky Lynch right now? She's the man. Do you have any gripes with this list?
I don't really, because everybody is upset about Becky Lynch not breaking top 10, but she's only come into the success within the past couple months.
Correct.
And this year goes for all of 2018.
Right.
And like you said, PWI is a kayfabe heavy magazine.
Right.
And it's all a kayfabe list. So
while I agree with you there, they had people like Carmella and Nia Jax who had WWE title runs.
Yeah.
Nia's was kind of forgettable, as John forgot about it last episode. Number 15 was Tessa Blanchard, and I feel like that is some bullshit.
Yeah, hasn't she been the Knockouts champion for like 5 months?
Like 2 or 3, but even she has held like a number of 6 titles within the year.
No, she held 9 at once at one point.
Yeah,
year.
and she's still like holding like 6 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. Her character work is undeniable. Everything about her is undeniable. But when she's on commentary, when she's in the ring, her facials, her ring psychology, her wrestling, everything is amazing about Tessa Blanchard. And the fact that she has held so many titles within 2017 and 2018, the fact that she's not on the top 10 is absolutely ridiculous to me.
Well,
of course, I'm a Tessa Blanchard mark, but you can't deny the facts.
And PWI has always been kind of an ass kisser for WWE anyway.
Yeah, a little bit. But we do see Io Shirai and Mayu Iwatani there.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, because apparently they're paying attention to Stardom. Io is now in WWE, but she was the ace of Stardom.
Should be.
Right. So, yeah, that's my only gripe with the list, and I agree with you about Becky Lynch. Like, up until about a month or 2 ago, she wasn't doing much. So, you know, there's always next year.
It's unfortunate, but there are reasons. You know what I mean?
Right. And there's always next year. So that closes out the news segment. We are going to get into our reviews. And up first is, keeping with the theme of females, Women's Wrestling Revolution versus the World, which happened the same day as Evolution. It was based out of Massachusetts. I believe it's the sister promotion to Beyond Wrestling.
Yeah.
So, John, the first match was a rematch of the first round of the first Mae Young Classic between Kimberly, who was Abby Lath, against Alpha Female, who was Jazzy Gabbert. I got some things to say about this match, so I want you to go first.
It's 2 awesome superstars who unfortunately put on a very boring match.
Yes.
Because I'm a mark for Jazzy Gabbert and
I'm a mark for both.
Abby Lath.
Yeah. And here's what I think. Neither of them let the other lead, so there was a lot of sloppiness, a lot of sloppy transitions. It seemed like at some points they didn't know where they were going with the match. Aside from the last 2 moves that Alpha Female put on Kimberly, I thought the whole match was sloppy. I felt very disappointed because I was looking forward to this match very much. The other thing is, if you want to perform better for WWE cameras, but that's not the place you are right now, you should be working like that anyway to get back to that place. And it just felt like, Tessa Blanchard and Indy Hartwell were on the commentary booth with Paul Crockett during the match. And as I said before in this episode, Tessa was fantastic on commentary.
Yeah.
When Jazzy came out, she had this half mask, which was like gold and like a skull type. Mm-hmm. And Indy was like, oh, she's frightening. And Tessa went right after her and was like, we're not afraid of anything, Indy. So, yeah, it was just a very disappointing match. And I was kind of upset with it. The second match was Lucha Underground's Cobra Moon, a.k.a. Thunder Rosa, against Harlow O'Hara. This match took the bad taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, it was really good.
It seemed like the younger talent in Harlow O'Hara let Thunder Rosa lead the match. And this was like a powerhouse versus a luchadora. And Solo Darling was on commentary.
The spot where Harlow suplexed Thunder Rosa into the turnbuckle was brutal.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I really liked Thunder Rosa. I think this is the first time I've seen her. Well, there's a lot of people that I was seeing for the first time on this show.
Yeah, I like when Harlow did like a butterfly guillotine into a dropout. I forget what they called it. I think it was a signature or her main move. There was another move where Rosa was going for a Russian leg sweep, but rolled forward and put in like a Rings of Saturn type submission.
Yeah, they said that it was a Rings of Saturn with a neck twist, I think is what they called it.
Yeah, Solo was good on the commentary. She was a little bit more laid back from the previous two women.
Yeah.
At the end, both ladies hug and raise each other's arms. I think the reason this match was more tight than the last is that Harlow let Rosa lead, like I said, because I don't think Alpha or Lee were leading at all. Anything else on that match you want to talk about?
Not really. Just that it was definitely better than the opener match, and maybe should have been the opener match.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. The third match, we got a fatal four-way between all Massachusetts-bred females. Hot Scoop Skyler, who I was impressed with at American Rana, versus Davian, versus Oceania, versus Alicia Edwards.
She had a good look, that Oceania. She had a really cool look.
Apparently, during the match, we found out that she used to go by Ashley Vox.
Okay.
And somehow something changed within her, some kayfabe stuff. I don't follow constantly, so I'm sorry. This was your typical four-way match. There was a lot of action going on. There was a lot of cool spots. And all four ladies did pretty good.
There was some really good.
The crowd hates Alicia Edwards.
Yeah.
And she feeds off of it really well.
Well, they don't really care for Eddie Edwards either, so it's like
weird.
Yeah. Here's a term that we've used on the show before. A lot of good lucha dodging in this match.
Lucha dodging! Yes. So yeah, it was the run-of-the-mill fatal four-way. Skylar won, which I was happy with. There was an alliance formed between Davian and Alicia, but as one went for the pin, that ended that kind of alliance. Not much to say other than that. Match 4 was the bad girl Penelope Ford against Jessica Troy. And I will say this. This was the match that really got me into this show. Penelope Ford is fucking unreal.
Yeah, she's so good.
She's a better wrestler than her boyfriend. Wrestler. He has character down, but she's in the ring is fantastic. Also, Jessica Troy, we talked about her during the Impact Rise of the Knockouts. Yeah. She looked 100 times better here. So she has been getting better as a wrestler.
Yes.
Let's see. Go ahead and take it away. I'll talk a bit.
I thought it was very cool. After the match was over, Penelope Ford picked up the win, and afterwards the ring announcer said
she picked up a win with a Zack Sabre Jr. like pinning combination.
Right. And the ring announcer actually gave well wishes to Joey Janela, who of course suffered a very bad knee injury and is on the shelf for a long time. So
yes.
it was
did
very
you
cool
notice
to see.
that the crowd was chanting Ace?
Yeah.
Even though he's not the Ace, David Starr is the Ace.
Well, they know who the real Ace is.
They talk. This is versus the world. So, as we're talking about Jessica Troy, Charlie Evans is on commentary. Charlie is Troy's tag partner. Indy Hartwell, Charlie Evans, Shazza McKenzie, and Jessica Troy were all there from Australia. And in the next match, Zoe Lucas is from the UK, as is Willow Nightingale. So we did have a lot of flavor of the world in this show.
Right.
So Zoe Lucas versus Karen Q. Karen Q has been on Women of Honor.
Karen Q is super cool. I like her
and
a lot.
I've seen her in the Mae Young Classic this
her
year.
I've seen.
I've only seen her in the Mae Young Classic in this match, but I'm going to go out of my way to look for more Karen Q matches because she's fantastic. Zoe Lucas I had never heard before, and
She
thought
was very fun.
I thought she was great.
Yeah, she was great.
Aside from, and I'll get into this with another person on this show.
Yeah.
If you are going to kick or forearm someone, I don't care if you're a male or a female, you better lay that shit in. Because if it doesn't look believable, then I'm not interested.
Right.
Aside from that, Zoe had a great British style to her. There was a lot of back and forth in the beginning with holds and such. Karen Q looks like if the two big females of the Impact Knockouts division, Awesome Kong and Gail Kim, had a child.
Yeah.
She reminds me of both of them. This match just had everything you would want in a match.
Yeah.
There was a Karen did a full Nelson Slam for 2, and then she went right into her deep Boston Crab, and Zoe tapped out. This was a super solid match, and thumbs up. The previous match with Penelope Ford and this match were fantastic.
Right.
Match 6, we got Lufisto, who is an indie female legend, against Shazza McKenzie. And we talked about Shazza McKenzie on the Impact Rise of the Knockouts as well. I'm going to be honest here. And this was a pretty good match, but I like the 2 matches before it better. Shazza is good as a babyface, but she kept doing kicks and forearms that looked weak as hell. And if you're going to come at someone like Lufisto, who is a thick, strong woman, you gotta lay that shit in. There was a point where she had Lufisto draped over the middle rope like this. She was outside and she was laying in kicks. Now, if you go back and you watch CM Punk or Daniel Bryan or Eddie Edwards kick somebody in the chest, or even Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie, Asuka, Io, they're not kicking like Shazza McKenzie. Okay? This is ridiculous. And it's something she needs to work on. The Lufisto was great. Her suplexes and such were cool. But there's something missing from Shazza with me, and it's not just the kicks. I think like her attire is a little too bland. I don't know what it is, but there's something about her that just isn't clicking with me. And it's not just the kicks, but the kicks need big time work. How do you feel about this?
No, I agree. I didn't notice as much about the kicks, but thinking back on it now, I can see what you're talking about. Just this past week on NXT, we had the debut King of Bros Matt Riddle, and he did a very similar spot with draped over the ropes with kicks, and it looked brutal.
Yeah, I was very surprised with his debut. They did not change him at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So they know that he's money already. And he speaks English, so they don't have to fuck him up like Shinsuke. So anyway, match 7, we got Tessa Blanchard and Indy Hartwell, who are going as the undeniably impressives against Solo Darling and Willow Nightingale, the bird and the bee, or the Haas goddesses, if you will. Karen Q was on commentary for this match.
Yeah.
What did you think about this match, dude?
It was good. I mean, you got Tessa in there. You got Solo Darling, who I remember from the American Rana. Super cool. Was she wearing a mask in American Rana?
No. She just has like a lot of eye makeup and like.
I don't know why stuff. I thought she was wearing a mask.
Probably because she was in there with all the Shikara people.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah.
I thought this was a fantastic match.
Solid tag team work on both ends.
Yeah. Towards the end, we got a big missile dropkick to Tessa for a 2 count. A spinning suplex on Indy Hartwell by Solo Darling. Then Solo got hit by a cutter from Tessa. Willow hit Tessa with a Death Valley driver. And Willow hoisted Indy up and Solo off the second rope with a heart attack. Solo and Willow win with the KRS-1 on Indy Hartwell for the win. This move is like a magic killer, but the person who holds the top portion of the body pushes up and then slams down as the leg holder flips the legs.
Right.
It's an interesting move, but kind of choppy looking. It was a satisfying match. Solo and Tessa stood out. Indy shined, and Willow did some good while she was taking most of the brunt of the action here.
Yeah.
So far, out of the 7 matches we've talked about, I would say 3 of them are worth watching. Then we get Tara Calloway come out and say that why is she an alternate when she's the most dangerous female on the roster?
Yeah.
She demands someone comes out there and whoever wants a death wish come out. Then we get a girl by the name of Delmi XO. She came out to the song Boys Don't Cry by The Cure, which I popped for because I'm a Cure fan. Calloway kept beating her, going for the pin, and then stopping the pin. Harlow O'Hara comes out to stop it. And at this point in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I saw Lufisto, I saw Harlow O'Hara, and I'm seeing her again, and I see Tara. And they're all wearing similar outfits. If you are on a show, you want to stand out. You don't want to look or act like the rest of the people.
Yeah.
But once Harlow picked up Delmi and then turned and hit her, I was like, okay, looks like they're going to be a tag team in the future, so it's okay if they look like each other. But, it was just like, there's 3 people on the show and they all look the same. And I don't like this. So then, Delmi's former tag partner, Oceania, who they described as Ashley Vox, makes the save. They hug, and apparently Team, Sea Stars are reunited. That's wonderful. I don't know anything about them, but it was a nice feel-good moment.
Yeah.
It was an impromptu match, so it was okay. I'd still say there's only 3 matches to watch. Match 8, the icing on the cake, as you will, the main event. The NWA World's Women's Championship was on the line as Jazz, former ECW and WWE superstar, was wrestling Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace. On paper, this looks amazing. And it was a very solid match for the first portion.
Right.
Apparently, Jordan injured her ankle a little bit, and she came in not 100%. I don't know if that's kayfabe or not, but it kind of played into the match. And Jazz did a lot of underhanded stuff. It was going well, but they ended the match with, let's see here. Jordan put Jazz on the second rope. She went for a power bomb. She was thwarted. Then she goes for a fireman's carry, but Jazz raked her eyes and hit a rough-looking Michinoku driver for the win.
Yeah.
It was solid. It was well-paced. I feel like Jordan should have had more offense. And it lacked that feeling of ooh and on, edge of your seat type of feel that a main event should give. I don't know if that was because of Jordan's ankle. I don't know if that was because of how it was planned. I'm not sure, but it didn't deliver as it should have. So I would still say that there's only 3 good matches on here with an okay match, and then the rest are whatever. So my final grade for this show, usually we're very generous here.
Generous. Yeah.
I give this show a C-, which is a little less than average. Maybe a C. Maybe a solid C.
I would go straight C.
Yeah. So, sorry, Women's Wrestling Revolution.
Maybe the Penelope Ford match bumps it up to a C+ for me. Maybe.
But I'm talking about, like, you sit through that whole show.
Altogether. And it's a full 2-hour show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a C. It's a C.
Yeah.
All right.
It's unfortunate because there was a lot to enjoy. But it didn't... If the main event's not good, it kind of makes the whole show feel like it falls flat.
Right. And especially when you have a Mae Young Classic first round rematch between two women who are great at their job.
And universally loved.
Yeah. And it just is shit.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it other than shit.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. You get your hopes up, and then you get disappointed. So then then it drops. So that's how that is. Our next review is part 1 of Ultima Lucha Cuatro. Okay, so we start the show off with the Trios Championship 3-way between the Rabbit Tribe, which is El Bunny, a.k.a. Masquerita Sagrada, who has turned evil. Paul London, who has sacrificed both of his friends, Saltador and I forget the other friend, to the White Rabbit. The Rabbit Tribe last season was trying... They seem psychedelic and crazy. And they've been on the search for the White Rabbit. They found the White Rabbit. And the White Rabbit is Impact's Killer Cross. Since Killer Cross has made his debut this year, or this season on Lucha Underground, he has been unstoppable force. He puts on a white glove and he uses a mandible claw after an STO, and it's just vicious. So we have the Rabbit Tribe against the Reptile Tribe, which is led by Cobra Moon, a.k.a. who we talked about earlier, Thunder Rosa, Daga, and Jeremiah Crane. Jeremiah Crane in this season of Lucha Underground.
They were calling Jeremiah Snake.
Yes,
weird.
Because he died.
Well, and because he's part of the Reptile Tribe now.
Yeah.
So.
He died, and they brought him back to life. There was a lot of stuff that happened with Katrina and Mil Muertes this year, this season, and it's also happening to Phoenix. They revived Phoenix with a medallion and stuff, and he's like Dark Phoenix now.
Yeah,
but we'll get into that next week for part 2. But yeah. So Jeremiah Crane is Jeremiah Snake. He's like a zombie version of Jeremiah Crane against the ragtag team.
Sami Callihan, if people still don't know.
Right. Yeah. Against the ragtag team of Ivelisse, Exolicious, who is a...
I'm a big fan of Exolicious.
Yeah, I believe he's either trans or he's just drag.
I think he's just drag.
And Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara replaced Joey Ryan because Joey Ryan was put down, I think, by the White Rabbit or Matanza. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he got killed again. Is he dead in this or just taken out?
I just think he's taken
out.
Okay,
I thought they killed Joey Ryan again.
I'm not sure.
He keeps getting murdered. It's not fair.
This match had a lot of high-flying action. Sammy Guevara went to the top of the entranceway with Cobra Moon and did a Spanish fly, CD4, whatever you want to call it, off the entranceway onto all the other members of the respective teams. And this was just insane.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to Cobra Moon for taking that spot because, you know, she's a female. And
I've seen Sammy Guevara live a couple times. He was a regular for the IWC, our local indie, for a couple years.
I've watched him on Wrestle Circus and some other places, but it's nice to see him showing up here in MLW and stuff like that. He has a lot of potential.
And he's good. He's already good at what he does, too.
So then the Rabbit Tribe got eliminated first when Sammy pinned Paul London. And the White Rabbit
Enraged.
is enraged, and it looks like he's going to go after Paul London, and Paul London's scared. El Bunny's scared.
Yeah.
And they're the only people in the ring with Sammy. Instead, White Rabbit, Mandible Claw, STO to Sammy Guevara. They leave. Sammy is bleeding profusely from the mouth.
Yeah.
And Evilise and Exolicious are calling for a medic. We go to a break. When we come back from the break, it's 3-on-2. Evilise and Exolicious with some nice offense, but each time the numbers games breaks the pin. Cobra removes Evilise from the match, and Exo is cornered. Triple super kick, a shoulder breaker from Jeremiah Snake, a spike Rana from Cobra Moon, and Daga with an arm submission. Evilise tries to save, but Cobra stops her, and Crane hits the ropes and kicks Exo's arm while he's in the submission, making him tap, and the Reptile Tribe win in an action-packed don't blink or you'll miss it match.
Yep.
I was thoroughly the match was thoroughly enjoyable to me.
I thoroughly enjoyed the whole show.
Same. The next match was Taya Valkyrie against Ricky Mundo. The backstory to this is that Ricky Mundo was a Johnny Mundo mark. Johnny Mundo has a group called the Worldwide Underground. Jack Evans was in it. PJ Black is in it. Ricky Mundo got into it, but they treated him like a ragdoll whipping boy.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of sacrifices made by Matanza this season, where basically if Matanza wins, you are dead.
Yeah.
So Taya and Johnny were having a wedding, and Ricky Mundo, who has went to the Island of the Dolls and has this creepy ass doll that talks to him.
Obviously.
The doll tells him to open up the cage of Matanza. Matanza ruined the wedding. Taya's pissed. Taya wants revenge. That's the backstory to this match.
I keep saying it, but this is why I love Lucha Underground.
It's so awesome.
It's insane.
It's like it's a comic book. It's a video game. It's a wrestling show. It's everything. The doll's name is Rosa, by the way.
It's like an entire promotion created by Broken Matt Hardy. It's like that's what I feel like it is.
Yeah. Taya hit a lot of good offense in the beginning. Taya stomped Ricky's head down and taps Ricky out with an STF in a quick revenge match. Ricky begs Taya to stop, but she yells, "You ruined my fucking wedding," and chokeslams him off the apron through a table that he himself set up.
Yeah, this is one of those uncensored type shows, if you don't know.
Yeah. Taya, in the end, Taya took the doll away.
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, wow. Ricky is a funny character, and Taya taking the doll tells me the story isn't over yet.
No.
And despite this happy ending, this was a happy ending, but maybe in the next season, the doll starts talking to Taya, which would be super interesting.
Could be.
But this was a quick revenge match, and I liked it. Then we get the
main event
of part one.
Yeah.
Mask versus Mask. Son of Havoc, who is Matt Cross.
Yeah,
he plays a character who was in a motorcycle club and has been exiled. That's why he wears a mask. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is. Against Killshot, who was in the military, and he wears a mask because he doesn't want anybody to know who he is, because he feels, as we saw with his feud with Dante Fox, he left behind people to die, and he was running from his past. Both these guys are running from their past. They were put together with Willie Mack at the beginning of the season as a trios team. Killshot had no respect for Son of Havoc. As the season went on, here's where we are now. This match was like any indie show main event.
Right.
It was fantastic in the ring. It had great spots. There was a callback to the Dogs of War match between Dante Fox and Killshot, where Killshot brought the exact gurney back.
Yeah.
Killshot hit the double stomp for a 2. Matt Cross, Son of Havoc hit the shooting star press for a 2 count. It seemed like everything these guys did would not put the other away. Killshot did the cradle suplex and didn't get the win. We get the end. In the end, Son of Havoc tied Killshot to the gurney, which Killshot brought in, and hit the shooting star over the open road, as they call it, to fit his character for the win. And Killshot is made to give up his mask. And he says his name is Lieutenant Jermaine Killshot Strickland, and for the past few years has been trying to forget and escape the past of war and leaving behind so many friends for dead. Strickland hands Havoc the mask, and Havoc holds it high and everyone claps. Strickland was holding back shame and guilt. The believers chant, "Thank you, Killshot," as he exits. After the show, usually, with most Lucha Underground show episodes, we get a video package. Strickland is seen leaving the temple, and we see Dante Fox in full Marine regalia, and he's asking him where he's going and everything, and Strickland apologizes to Dante and asks for a leave of duty, and they give each other the salute, and Dante says, "We will miss you, soldier," and it was nice to see his face after all this time. So it seems like Shane Strickland is no longer a Lucha Underground wrestler, and he just lost the Evolve Championship this past weekend to Fabian Eichner, NXT's Fabian Eichner, and Evolve is using the Street Profits won the Evolve Tag Team Championships off of Jaka and Dickinson. So does this, and Shane Strickland also lost to Tom Lawler on MLW as the ace of MLW. What does all this tell me, John?
It means that Mr. Strickland possibly has a meeting with Mr. Regal.
Mr. Regal and Mr. Levesque. So, that's episode 15. Next week, we will talk Lucha Underground, Ultima Lucha Part 2. We will talk the special episode of Impact called, let's see here. I have it in my notes. Let's see.
Yeah, what is this? Because I don't know about this.
Yeah, this was a last minute thing.
Okay.
Next week we're going to talk Ultima Lucha Cuatro Part 2, New Japan Powers, Pro Wrestling Power Struggle.
Yes, which is available to watch the day that this episode drops.
Yes. And Impact, their special episode called Final Hour. This is like Redemption and such. It's not a pay-per-view. It's a special event. Yeah. I believe Killer Cross is wrestling maybe Johnny Mundo for the title. Moose is wrestling Eddie Edwards. I believe there's going to be Taya versus Tessa again. I'm not sure.
Okay. But sounds good, though.
Yeah. That's what we're going to cover next week. If you want to hear about it, great. If you don't, I'm sorry. Voice your opinion in the comments below or get at us at Armbar Audio on Twitter, on Instagram. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear more of, what you don't want to hear. And thank you for all of you for interacting with us so much. We have a big announcement to make in December, so hold on for that. Yes. John, any last words?
Last words are, if you're still living under a rock and not watching Lucha Underground, get on it.
Right. Push that rock up and watch it.
It is psychotic. It is over the top. We're going to talk about Ultima Lucha Cuatro Part 2 next week. Ultima Lucha is always the finale of Lucha Underground. So if you want to maybe hold off, pick it up next season, that might be smart to do.
Well, seasons 1 and 2 are leaving Netflix.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are leaving Netflix, and season 3 never made it to it.
Yeah, but you can find them on iTunes, and if you are savvy with the internet, you can find it where you can find it. Wherever you are in the world, whether it is morning, noon, or night, you have a great one, and peace and love to all of you.